Hi students, good morning. How are you all? Good. In the previous session, we have discussed about the quantum numbers. Am I right? Today, we will discuss about the electronic configuration and principles behind the electrons arrangement in the different orbitals. Okay, let us start with the summarization of quantum numbers. What are the different quantum numbers we know, children? The principal quantum number will represent the size of the shell. Angular quantum number will represent the shape of the orbital. And magnetic quantum number gives out the orientation of the atomic orbital. Okay, these three are required to describe an atomic orbital. Am I so clear, children? So, if at all any electronic configuration has been given, how to find out how these three are related with that? Let us see with an example. Here is an orbital which belongs to the second shell of px orbital. So if at all 2px has been given, what is this 2 stands for and what is that p stands for, what is the x stands for? Let us see. 2 stands for the principal quantum number n is equals to 2. In the sense, the electron is there in the second shell. Okay. Then angular quantum number L is equals to 1. L is equals to 1 in the sense the angular momentum quantum number is having the value L is equals to 1. That means electron is there in the p orbital. P used to have 3 degenerated orbitals, right? Px, Py and Pz. In that, it used to have the x. That means it will be in the place of x. Okay, related to this x is related to the magnetic quantum number ml. Got it, children? So electron spin, the fourth quantum number will be there, right? So electron spin ms is the direction of the spin. It is also required to describe an electron in an atomic orbital. But how is it going to represent? Let us see with few more examples, children. In this chapter, that means in this topic, whatever we are discussing about the electronic configurations, not only by writing the electronic configuration, and we will understand by looking at the electronic configuration, we will find out where the electron exactly be and what are the principles and how are we going to write down the electronic configuration. Let us discuss in deep, children. Let us see, these are the atomic orbitals of S. Okay, so S orbitals are of same spherical in shape but different in size. Suppose there is a first orbit here. If you see, this is the first shell, means it is having only one shell, children. One shell, that's what it is having, one S. Okay, so then if at all that means this is actually the nucleus and then this is the first shell. Here first shell and the second shell, means whenever it is going to be changed, 1 then 2 and 3, that is what 1s is less than 2s and less than 3s. See, 3s is having a bigger size, 3s is having a bigger size and 2s is having the smaller size and 1s is having the even smaller size. Okay, of course these are all the same s orbitals itself, but there is a variation of having their positions at different shells. Means if the s orbital is present in the first shell, it used to have a different size, and if it belongs to the second shell, it used to have a different size. If it belongs to the third shell, it used to have another different size. That's what these are the cross sections of these shells I have produced for you to understand. So that means 2s. 2 means principal quantum number, it is 2, that is n is equals to 2. S is nothing but the angular quantum number, L is equals to 0. Very good. Now ml value, S is having only one orientation possibility, right? That is what into ml is equals to 2l plus 1. That means 2 into 0 plus 1, which is in turns equals to 0. So ml value, it gives us 0. That means it has only one orientation possibility. Got it? Now, coming to the 3p orbitals. Okay, that means here I have whatever the orbital is, this orbital may be either px or py or pz, either one of the three. Either one of the three, the electron what we have choose will belong to. Okay, so these three orientations has the same value as L is equals to 1 itself, but ML values are different. ML values are different. So here Px is having the value 0 and Py is having the value +1 and Pz is having the value -1. Okay, let's go for the rest. Here, atomic orbitals, that is what the d orbitals. Let us discuss about the d orbitals now. In this d orbitals, here 5 orientations are there. In this 5 orientations, the L value is same for all the 5 orientations. L value is same for all 5 orientations. But the ML values are different for each of these. For the middle one, that is what it starts with X. If you observe the previous one also, in that also the same, middle is the x1 and the rest, right side is the y1 and left side is the z1. In the same way here also, it starts with xy, then xz and then yz. Afterwards, this x square minus y square and then z square has been added over here. Okay, so these are the orientations which are having the values of, this is having this 3D x square minus y square is having -2 value, and 3D z square is having -1 value, 3D xy is having 0 value, and 3D xz is having +1 value, and then 3D yz is having +2 value. These 5 are respectively belongs to the continuation of these d orbitals. These are the 5 orientations. Maybe you have noticed one thing, children. All the d orbitals are having the 5 orientations, but the value of L is same for all the things. Okay, whatever this is 3D x square minus y square, of course it is also having the L value to itself. Okay, its ML value is different. Okay, got it? So let us look at the energies of the orbitals now. Okay, now of course 1s is nothing but here n is equals to 1. This is of only one atomic orbital, that is what s, that is what 1s. And in the second shell, in the n is equals to 2, there are two subshells. There are two subshells. One is s, another one is p. Okay, that is what the second shell is having the principal quantum number n is equals to 2. That's what 2s subshell is having the value n is equals to 2 and then L is equals to 0. Okay, now coming for the next atomic orbital, that is p. That means 2p subshell. 2p subshell, n is equals to 2 and L is equals to 1. Means for a shell, that means for a principal quantum number, whatever is the number of the principal quantum number, those many number of shells will be present. Okay, let us see another one then. Suppose if the principal quantum number is 3, how many subshells will be present, children? 3 subshells will be present. Let us see that even. Third subshell, that is what n is equals to 3. So how many number of subshells will be present? 3 subshells. If you see, it is 3s and this is 3p and this is 3d. Maybe you are thinking that ma'am 3p's are 3 and 3d's are 5. These are the orientation of those particular atomic orbitals, children. Okay, so p orbital is having 3 orientations, d orbital is having 5 orientations, f orbitals are having 7 orientations. Got it? So that is 3s subshell is having the value n is equals to 3 and L is equals to 0, and then 3p subshell is having the value n is equals to 3 and L is equals to 1, and then 3d subshell is having the values n is equals to 3 and L is equals to 2. In the similar way, the 4s, 4p, 4d and 4f also. Now let's see the workout example one thing. List the values of n, L, ml for each orbitals in a 4D shell. 4D shell, how many orbitals will be there, children? 5 orbitals. Am I right? D is having 5 orientations. Okay, we have to write down the values of all those. Let us see. Okay, what strategy we have to follow? First of all, Consider the significance of the number and the letter in the designation and determine the value of N and L. There are the multiple values of ML which will have to be deduced from the value of L. What does it mean, children? First of all, we have to consider the question given. That is what the 4D it is given, right? From this 4D, first of all, we have to find out what is N and then L. So depending on the L, we have to find out what is ML. Okay, so now we are going to set up for this. So what is that? To find out the value of ML, we will get the integer values from minus L and of course including 0 until plus L. Let us see that solution. Okay, let us take 4D. Okay, now tell me what is the principal quantum number of this 4D? Principal quantum number is N is equals to 4. It is already given there, right? And then angular momentum quantum number, that is of D, depends on D. Okay, or else you can do another thing also, children. L is equals to 0 to N minus 1. You have to write 0 to N minus 1. But here the value of D is what, children? D value of L is 2. That's what you have to mention. L is equals to 2. Okay. Now, coming to the possible ML values are what? ML values are minus L to plus L. That's what? Minus L in the sense minus 2 to plus 2. In between what will be there? Minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. These are the 5 orientations of the D orbital. I hope so you all understood very clearly, children. Okay, we will see with some more examples. Okay, now let's think about, okay, to verify your picture. Come on, see whether this is correct or not. Let us see where is 4D exactly. Here this is the D shell. We know that L is equals to 0 for the S subshell, L is equals to 1 for the P, L equal to 2 for the D, L equal to 3 for the F subshell. Okay, so these are the values of different principal quantum numbers. Let us see. N is equals to 1. It is having only one S. See here, observe here, children. This is for the first shell and this is the second shell and this is the third shell and this is our fourth shell here. Okay, that's what it is having, only one subshell, here two subshells, here three subshells and here four subshells. In this four subshells, where is D? Here it is D. So these are the values. So in this way also we can verify. Okay, right. The next one, coming to the electronic configurations. So what do you mean by electronic configuration? The electronic configuration describes how the electrons are distributed in the various atomic orbitals. Means there are so many number of atomic orbitals, that means so many number of electrons are there in a particular orbital, but without any fighting or else without any collision. How these electrons are arranged in that particular orbital is nothing but the electronic configuration. Simple. Electronic configuration in the sense the electrons arrangement in the particular atomic orbitals. Got it, children? Let us see how these were going to be presented. In the ground state of hydrogen atom, the electron is found in the 1s orbital. How many electrons are there for the hydrogen, children? Just only one, right? So it should start with 1s. Every atom, its electrons, whatever the number of electrons are, it should start with 1s itself. With skipping of 1s or skipping of 2s, it is not going to enter in any other orbital at all. It should start with 1s itself. Let's see. So this is how it is going to place with. It is having only one electron, right? That electron will be presented in the upward arrow direction. The use of an upward indicates an electron with the spin of plus half. That means positive spin. It is having the positive spin. Okay, understood? Positive spin it used to have. That is what the clockwise direction we can say. Means maybe till now you are thinking that, ma'am, we are discussing while I'm explaining the previous one, maybe you are thinking that ma'am, we are discussing principal quantum number, angular quantum number, and even the magnetic quantum number also, but we are not discussing about the spin quantum number. So that means whenever we are placing out the electrons in this way, we can understand whether it is having the plus spin or it is having the minus spin. Okay, means it is at the ground state, children. It is at the ground state of an electron's configuration of hydrogen. So what does it mean? Ground state, in the sense, it is the original state of the hydrogen without having the lot of energy from the outside. So 1s1, in the sense, this 1 represents that principal quantum number n equal to 1, and then S stands for angular momentum quantum number L equal to 0, and then here the 1 stands for, see, we used to see that 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, like that we used to see, am I right? So that exponential number here, that is the 1, here it represents the number of electrons in the orbital or the subshell. In that particular orbital or in that particular subshell, how many number of electrons are present, that is what it is going to represent for. Okay, now let's see the another one. If the hydrogen's electron found in a higher energy orbital, the atom is in the excited state. That means whenever it is revolving in the 1s orbital, it used to get lot of energy. So what it used to does, it used to jump to the next energy level, that is 2s. Its next energy level is what? 2s. It jumps to the 2s energy level. That's, then we can say that that will be in the excited state. That will be in the excited state. So a possible excited state of electronic configuration of hydrogen is 2s1. Okay. See, maybe you are thinking, ma'am, in which orbital, what is the exact electronic configuration of hydrogen? In the normal state, the hydrogen is having the general electronic configuration as 1s1 itself, children. Just simply one electron will be present. That one electron just belongs to 1s orbital itself. Okay, let us discuss still more. In a multiple electron atoms, arrangement of the energies of the atomic orbitals. Suppose if at all only one electron is present, that's more than enough to discuss only about 1s orbital. That's all. But suppose there are so many number of electrons are present. Suppose, for example, there are some 20 electrons or 18 electrons or 32 electrons or something like that. Maybe in our periodic table you have seen the 118 elements, right? 118 elements, in the sense its atomic number is 118. Then these 118 electrons, how to represent them? How to arrange them in a particular different orbitals? So let us discuss about the energies of the atomic orbitals. Why we have to study about the energies of the atomic orbitals? If we know very well about the energies of the atomic orbitals, then only we can arrange properly the electrons in the different orbitals according to their energy levels. Children, you just try to observe one thing. 1s, okay, fine. That means the first one, that means the first shell is having only one subshell. Now coming to the second shell here. Second shell, it is having two subshells, right? 2s and 2p. Very good. Now coming over here, 3s, 3p. In between 3p and 3d, 4s has been given. Don't think that it is the arrangement of atomic orbitals according to their energies. How these energies will be calculated? Let us see. How am I going to calculate the energy? While I am calculating the energy, I am going to add the principal quantum number with the value of angular quantum number. With the value of angular quantum number, then I can understand that this is having this much of energy and the next level of energy will be given. Let's see. Suppose 1s is there. So 1s in the sense 1 plus. What is the L value of s? 0. So 1 plus 0, it is having 1. That means its energy level starts from 1. Let us see for 2s. 2s in the sense 2 plus 0 is equals to 2. Its value is 2. Now coming to 2p. 2p in the sense 2 plus p value is 1. That is what 3 it is having. That means simply from the first energy level to the second energy level, That's what the electrons first that will be filled in the first shell because it is having the lowest energy level, and then it jumps to the next energy levels. So whenever it is getting the higher energy. Okay, now let's see for 3s. 3s. 3s in the sense 3 plus 0, it is 3. You observe one thing, children. 2p is having 3 value and 3s also having the value 3. Then how come this is the greater, how come this will be the greater energy? Because that if at all, whenever we are adding the energy level, that means we are adding the energy of the atomic orbitals, we are getting the same number. At that particular case, by looking at the principal quantum number, we can decide the highest energy. Whatever is the principal quantum number high, that will have the highest energy if at all the sum of the atomic orbitals energy is equal. Are you getting my point, children? If at all the sum of the atomic orbitals here, the sum of the atomic orbitals of these two are equal, then we can decide by looking at the principal quantum numbers over here. So now which is having the greatest energy? This is having the greatest energy because the n value is 3 given over here. Here n value is 2 only. Of course, these two are having the equal energy over here, but a slightly greater energy for the orbital, greater size because the shell is, suppose this is the second shell, this is the third shell, right? So third shell I showed you before itself. The 1s orbital is having the smaller size, 2s is having the bigger size, like that, isn't it? In the same way. Got it, children? Now let's see the next ones then. Now coming to the next one, it is 3p. Okay, 3p, that implies 3 plus p is equals to 1. That is what? 3 plus 1 is 4. Now when without going to the 3D, why 4s has been come, let us see. 4s is having 4 plus 0 is equals to 4. Okay, and then you see 3D is having the value 5. Now you understood, children? After completing the electrons filling in 3p, the electrons should go to 4s energy level, then it goes and fills 3D because 3D is having the higher energy as comparing to 4s. Here first what should we consider, children? We should consider the sum of the atomic orbitals energies, the sum of the energies of the atomic orbitals. Okay, here the sum of the atomic orbitals, 3p is having 4 and 3d is having 5, but 4s is having 4. Okay, so 3p is having the lowest energy than 4s. That's what after 3p 4s has been come. Then for the atomic orbital size, the energy of the atomic orbital of that is 4 is less than 3d, right? That's what in between 3p and 3d 4s has come. I hope you understood. Don't get confused, children. Just we are arranging the energies of the atomic orbitals to keep the electrons in an order according to their energy levels. Okay, now let's see the next. 4p. 4p also having the 5 energy level, but instead of having the 3d at the top, what has been done here? 3d, in the sense it is having the, it belongs to the third shell, and 4p, it belongs to the fourth shell. So that's why it is greater, it is having the greater energy. Now let's see the next. Coming to the 5s. Here 5s is also having the, of course it is also having the energy as 5 itself. 5 plus 0, it is 5 itself. Out of these three, which is the least principal quantum number? 3 is the least principal quantum number. That's what it is having the lesser energy. And 4p is the next one. That's what next energy. And 5s is the principal quantum number 5 is the greatest one. That's what it is having the greatest energy out of all these energies of atomic orbitals. I hope you understood now. Okay, coming to the 4d. So 4d in the sense 4 plus 2, which in terms is equals to 6. That means whenever we are going to arrange the electrons, we can easily understand by adding the principal quantum number value with the angular quantum number value. We will get the energies of the atomic orbitals. So by having the idea about the energies of the atomic orbitals, we can clearly arrange the electrons inside the atom. Okay, now see, here there is a principle called Pauli's exclusion principle. What does the Pauli's exclusion principle is saying? No two electrons in an atom can have all the four quantum numbers same. Means for each electron we are going to represent for the four quantum numbers. So those four quantum numbers, what the use of the four quantum numbers, children? The four quantum numbers gives out the idea of the electron present inside the nucleus, present inside the atom around the nucleus. Okay, so according to the Pauli's exclusion principle, no two electrons in an atom can have all the same four quantum numbers. Let us see with an example, then you can understand clearly. Okay, here I have taken an element called helium. Okay, helium is having the atomic number 2. So I have given that helium atomic number 2 as electronic configuration as 1s2. Means those two electrons. I know that, of course, you also know about it, I hope. Okay, s orbital is having the one degenerated orbital. In each degenerated orbital, it is having the occupants capacity of electrons are 2. Got it? From the previous explanations that was in the previous video, I have explained you this. Okay. So coming to the ground state of an electronic configuration of helium is 1s2. Now let us write down the quantum numbers of these. What are the quantum numbers exactly we have to write? The principal quantum number, angular momentum quantum number, and magnetic and electron spin. Okay, children, I will give you 1 minute time. How are you going to write down these quantum numbers of 1s2? That means you have to write even for the first electron and even next for the next electron also. Okay, for the first electron now I am seeing n value. What is my n value, children? Yes, n value is 1. Then angular momentum quantum number, that is s value is what? 0. Whenever it is s is equals to 0, ml value is what? Simply 0. Now spin. Now this is my upward arrow, right? This is my upward arrow. Upward arrow is having plus half orientation. That means I told you plus half spin. Okay. Now these are my first electron. So for the first electron, the principal quantum number 1, then angular momentum 0, magnetic quantum number 0, and spin is plus half. Now coming to the next electron, that is the downward direction electron. Of course, whatever the direction it is, it belongs to even 1s itself, right? That's what principal quantum number again 1, s value of course 0, and the magnetic quantum number, of course, it is 0. But here coming to the electron spin, it is in the downward direction, right? In the downward direction, in the sense which spin it used to have? Negative spin. So minus half it is. Now you understood. See here, it describes total 1s orbital. These three quantum numbers describes the 1s orbital itself. But here it describes the electron in the 1s orbital in which spin it is. Now you understood. All the four quantum numbers are not same. Three quantum numbers are same, but fourth one is different. It will be like that, children. Either all the four will be different, or any two will be different, or any three will be different, or any at least one will be different. Got it? I hope you all understood very clearly about this. Okay, let us practice with some more examples. Before going to some more examples, let us see the next arrangement. Why is it so? The Aufbau principle states that electrons are added to the lowest energy orbitals first before moving to the higher energy orbitals. I showed you already the calculation of the energies of the atomic orbitals previous. 1s is having the energy value 1, and 2s is having 2, 2p is having 3, and 3s is having 3. Like that energies levels I have told you. Means the Aufbau, why we have calculated before itself, to understand the Aufbau principle. It states that electrons are added to the lowest energy orbitals. That's what you have seen, that 3s after 3s and 3p, 4s has been come before 3d itself. But in the third subshell, there should be 3 subshells. Okay, in the shell of 3s, 3p, and 3d. These are the 3 subshells should be present. whenever we are arranging the electrons, 3s, 3p, after that 4s has been come, then 3d has been come. Why? 4s has having value 4 and then 3d is having the energy level 5. That is what here Aufbau principle is saying about. That means the electrons should be added to the lowest energy orbitals first before moving to the higher energy orbitals. Now, I have shown you one picture over here. Now in this, what is the energy levels? According to the energy levels, I have kept even the subshells also. 1s is having the lowest energy, I have kept at the bottom, and 2s is the next energy level, which is having the value 2, and it is having 2p is having the value 3. That's what I kept at the different energy level now. So lithium, let us look for lithium. It is having total number of 3 electrons. So to arrange these 3 electrons, first of all, 1s orbital can only accommodate 2 electrons according to the Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay, according to the Pauli's exclusion principle, only 2 electrons accommodation. So first electron with a positive spin, second electron with the negative spin has been filled up. Out of 3, 2 are over. Then where should it place the third one? It should place in the 2s. It should place in the 2s. Okay, the third electron must go in the next available orbital with the lowest possible energy. But it should not go to the 2p. Of course, those are empty, so you should not jump. These electrons should be arranged. Once it should be fulfilled, then it should go to the next level. Okay, that is what the ground state of electronic configuration of lithium is. 1s2, 2s1. Got it, children? Now, coming to the next one. Let us see another example. Beryllium has total 4 electrons. Total 4 electrons. How are you going to arrange those 4 electrons, children? Come on, arrange first. First, we should fill with 1s. Okay, 2 electrons I am going to fill with. Okay, first positive spin and negative spin. Then I have filled with 2s again. Positive spin and negative spin. So the ground state of the configuration of beryllium is now 1s, it is having 2 electrons, and 2s it is also having 2 electrons. Okay, now let's see the next example. Boron has total 5 electrons. Total 5 electrons. How these 5 electrons will be arranged? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, 1s2. Okay, 2s, 2 again. But 2p, 1. Okay, 2p it is just 1. The ground state of electronic configuration of B is 2p1. Good. Now, let's see for next rule, children. Hund's rule. Hund's rule. According to the Hund's rule, the most stable arrangement of electrons is the one in which the number of electrons with the same spin is maximized. What does it mean? When suppose, if you see this example, you can understand what the statement the Hund is going to give us. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See here. This is the 2p orbitals are having the equal energy. That is, these are the degenerated orbitals. I already discussed you what are degenerated orbitals. Here, the p subshell is having the 3 degenerated orbitals as px, py and pz. Of course, px is having the same energy and py is having the same energy and pz is also having the same energy. So, by having all the same energy, maybe you are thinking that, ma'am, why should it start with here itself? Why can't it start with here? Okay, that means the order of this, suppose whenever we are going to step in, while we are looking for any other house or something, we will see the first house, then we'll go to the next house, then we'll go to the next house. In the similar way, of course, these are having the equal energies, right? These degenerate orbitals are having the equal energy. That's what the 2 electrons are there. Here, the 2 electrons has been filled in 1s orbital completely. Then 2s it has been filled. Maybe you are thinking that, ma'am, this electron, it should come over here. Maybe it is wrong. No, this is the correct way of notating. This is the proper way of notating, children. This is the correct way of notating. Okay, that means the first electron should go here, and then the next electron, it should not pair with this, children. It should go somewhere here. That's what this is what. The most stable arrangement of electrons is one in which the number of electrons with the same spin, it should completely filled with the same spin first of all, then go to the next spin. You understood? that should be filled in the degenerated orbitals. That should be filled in the degenerated orbitals. Okay. So let's see an example. Put one electron each in before pairing. That is what Hund's rule. Hund's rule simply says that in the degenerated orbitals, first fill up one with each. Okay, each degenerated orbital should be filled with one electron each. Then it will be paired with the negative spin. Got it? If you see some more examples, you can understand. The ground state of electronic configuration of carbon. This is of carbon. 1s2, 2s2. Of course, you should not write 2p, 1, 2p, 1 again. No, not like that. While you are representing number of electrons, you have to represent the same. Counting of these two, we will write down together as 2p2 itself. Okay, so that's what C has total 6 electrons. Now, let us see another example. N has total 7 electrons. How these will be arranged? 1s2, okay, 2s2, okay, 2p, x1, y1 and z1. You understood now? So these three has been filled up. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p3 is the electronic configuration of nitrogen. Got it? Now let's see another example now. Oxygen. Now you will get a clarity here. Let's see. 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. See here, after filling of the positive spins each of degenerated orbitals, then came with the negative spin here. Did you understand, children? Came with the negative spin over here. So the total number of electrons are 8. So here how it has been arranged: 1s2, 2s2 and 2p. How many these are? 4. So this is what the electronic configuration of oxygen. So one positive spin should be filled first of all. Okay, after completion of these degenerated orbital with the positive spin, then it should pair with the negative spin. Got it? This is what Hund's rule means. There are 3 rules we discussed till now. The Pauli's exclusion principle states that no 2 electrons can have the all 4 quantum numbers same. Then coming to the Aufbau principle, whenever we are filling up the electrons, the lowest energy orbital should be filled first. Okay, and then coming to the Hund's rule is saying that the positive spin, that means in the degenerated orbitals, it should be filled with all the positive spins first, and then after completely filling off with the positive spin the degenerated orbitals, then it should pair with the negative spin. These are the 3 rules actually what we have discussed till now. We are seeing the examples even. Okay, now let's go for the next one. F has total number of 9 electrons. Now let us write down, children, how many number of electrons, how are you going to arrange them? Okay, in 1s, how many? Yes, of course, 2. 2s2, 2p, first of all positive spin, then negative spin will be added. Okay, so total 1s2, 2s2 and 2p, 5. So when there are one or more unpaired electrons, as in the case of oxygen and fluorine, the atom is paramagnetic. That atom is considered as paramagnetic because here what is this? It is not paired, it is alone. It is alone electron. So it is not paired. In the oxygen, of course it doesn't pair with this electron. Am I right? If at all here empty electrons are there, then those substances are considered as paramagnetic substances. Okay, let's see the next example. Ne, neon, has total number of 10 electrons. Neon is a noble gas, children. It is a stable one. Now look at the arrangement of electrons now. Okay, individually it has been filled, afterwards paired. Okay, completely filled. There is no space at all. Okay, the ground state of electronic configuration of neon is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. When all the electrons in an atom are paired as in the neon, it is called diamagnetic substance. Diamagnetic substance, that means it is completely filled with all the electrons. Dia means there are 2 electrons exactly has been completely filled in the degenerated orbitals. Okay, right? I hope you understood. Now, what are the rules for writing the electronic configuration? We have to follow some of the rules while writing the electronic configurations. Let us see. Electrons will reside in the available orbitals of the lowest possible energy. Electrons will reside in the available orbitals of the lowest possible energy. Okay. Now, each orbital can accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons. Okay. Now, electrons will not pair in the degenerated orbitals if an empty orbital is available. This is what we discussed about the 3 principles. Electrons will reside in the available orbitals of lowest possible energy is about Aufbau principle, and then each orbital can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons, that is Pauli's exclusion principle, and this is degenerated orbitals. Empty space has been filled with the pairing. That means you should not pair suddenly. We should complete with the degenerate orbitals all with a positive spin, then should be paired. This is what Hund's rule. Okay, so orbitals will fill in the order indicated in the figure. Here this is the order. First 1s will be filled, then 2s will be filled, then see, we have to come from the top, children. Always we should come from the top after completing. See here, I came from the top 1s, again I am going to the top 2s, going to the top 2p and 3s, going to the top 3p and 4s, and going to the top 3d, 4p and 5s. See, if you have kept in the order like this, that means this diagonal diagram, if you have drawn of the atomic orbitals, it is this is very easy to write down your electronic configuration, children. So see, it is also very simple. 1s you draw one line and 2s you draw one line. While you are drawing these, you just put parallel. If you have given, put over here 1s, 2s and 2p with small distances in the same height. Okay. Okay, in the complete straight line. See, what I'm going to tell you is that, see here 1s. Okay, now 2s, 2p in a straight line, 3s, 3p, 3d in a straight line. Okay, my line has been gone out. Right, 3s, 3p and 3d in a straight line. Now 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f in a straight line. Like this. If you kept them in a proper order, then it is very easy to draw these again. See here. So 1s first which will be. Then you draw for the 2s. That means these two are having only one children, one subshells. Each one subshell we are going to fill first. Afterwards, we are filling 2 subshells if you observe. If you observe 2 subshells, we are filling. Next, we are filling 3 subshells, children. 3 each. Then 4 each. Here it will be, there is 7f or some 8s. Okay, 8s it will be there. Got it? So you can see the order. 1 and 1 has been filled. Then 2 and then 2 has been filled. And then 3 and then 3 has been filled. I'm just telling you just only to understand. Okay, you take your scale and try to draw the parallel lines, then you will get it easily. 1s, 2s will be singly done first of all. Afterwards, a parallel line if you draw, you will get 2p. See, while we are writing down the electronic configuration, first we should completely fill up with 1s. Then after filling of 1s, where should we go? 2s2 we should go. Then after completing of 2s, where should we go? We should go to the top. That is what, to 2p. Then it is go to the 3s. Okay, then go to the 3p, then 4s, then 3d, 4p and 5s, then 4d, 5p and 6s. Okay, then 4f, 5d, 6p and 7s. Now then 5f, 6d and 7p. Here it will be 8s, so that also can be added. Got it, children? Don't get confused. Practice very well, then you can understand very clearly about this. Okay, this diagram is very important to, without any confusion, you can easily write down the electronic configurations. Okay, work out on the first. Z is equals to 20. That is what atomic number 20. Let us see. Okay, this is what the strategy I told you already. Let us coming to the solution. So setup strategy, I'm following the diagonal rule over here. Diagonal rule. Okay, what am I doing? For my Z is equals to 20, I have first filled with my 1s2. Then I have filled with 2s2. Then 2p is having the maximum capacity of 6 electrons, right? That's what I have filled with 6 electrons over here. Okay, until here, how many electrons are over? 10 electrons are over. Next, coming to 3s2. Okay, then we are going to 3p now. 3p6, then 4s2. So until here, how many I have completed? Of course, I have completed Z is equals to 20. Z is equals to 20. Very good. So this is what the arrangement 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2. This is the electrons arrangement. This atomic number of Z20 is of calcium. Okay, children. So you just think about it. Okay, look at the figure again to make sure you have filled with the orbitals in the right order or not. Then sum of the electrons should be 20. Remember that 4s orbitals fills before the 3d orbitals. So you need not worry about it if you remember the diagonal formula properly. If you practice this diagonal figure properly, then you need not worry to write down the electronic configurations. Okay, children. So that's all for today, right? Practice very well, children. Your homework is that you just start writing off the electronic configuration as shown before. I have showed you for 20, right? Now you write down for 1 to 19. 1 to 19 atomic numbers, electronic configurations, and then electrons arrangement boxes also I have shown you, right? In the same way, you just arrange the electrons arrangement also. Got it, children? Okay, then it's your practice time. Okay, take care. Bye.